Some people do know about my business at school, but they are interested that someone from their school has started a business.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Prodigy Talks. And today I have with me a very young man, this time from America again, Te'Lario Watkins II, right? The second. Hello, Te'Lario. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Te'Lario, could you tell us a little about yourself? Who are you and what do you do for the audience around the world who do not know you? Just introduce yourself, please.
So, Te'Lario Watkins II, and I'm a 13-year-old mushroom farmer.
Lovely.
Um,
And
I
yeah,
grow
and
and sell mushrooms.
beautiful. So where are you taking this call from, Te'Lario?
I'm taking this call from Blackwick, Ohio.
Beautiful. So yesterday I spoke with somebody from Florida, and today I think we're still sticking to the American continent and all the prodigies there. So I'm glad you. And what time is it in Ohio?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What time is it there?
Right now it's 8:30 a.m.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. So not very often we hear, I have had many prodigies on the show. I have had paleontologists, but this is the first time I'm having a farmer on the show. That's amazing. So since when did you start farming?
So I started farming after a Cub Scout project when I was 7 years old.
Hmm.
They grew catgrass and basil, and it was so interesting. I went to growing stuff. Then my parents wondered what could grow in the winter, and I said mushrooms, because mushrooms can grow in the dark.
Uh-huh. And did somebody sort of teach you this at Club Scouts?
I actually read it from a book at school.
That's amazing. And I'm sure when you started, was it a success or did you have your like, you had to sort of persevere through this?
I had some issues with getting the humidity and the temperature right for the different mushrooms I had.
And where did you do this for the first time? At home, school?
I actually contacted an business named Back to the Roots, and I bought a mushroom kit from them, and then that's how I actually started getting my first mushroom and becoming interested in it.
This is amazing. So you're telling me that you were 7 years old when you did this.
Yes.
And what did your parents think about this when you started doing this?
At first, they were kind of skeptical, but the more that we started doing it, the more that they started to like see that this was really like big. This could be really big, and they started to like it more.
Wonderful. Te'Lario, I've just got a live comment saying that your voice is a little low. Could you speak up a little more, please? Or could you, I don't know, just make sure that your mic is good?
Yeah, is this better?
Is there any way that you could increase it more or just speak up a little louder, if that's okay?
Yeah, I think I can speak up a little louder.
Yeah, because I'm just getting in a comment from the live stream saying that they're not able to hear you properly.
Okay.
All right, good, good. And if you could just get a little closer to you, yeah, lovely. So, just coming back to your story, where your parents were skeptical. But how long did the whole first process of growing mushrooms take for you?
The process of growing mushrooms, it only takes 2 weeks to grow.
Hmm.
Um, all I had to do was get the humidity and temperature right, and it would just take 2 weeks, a short 2 weeks to grow the mushroom.
And right now, how is this working out for you? You doing it full time? I'm sorry, apart from school.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm pretty much doing it full time. cultivating the mushrooms and making sure that everything is all right with them and then harvesting them for farmers market.
Beautiful. And can I ask, I mean, how much, what is the sort of quantity you're getting right now? Every week, or how's your yield?
You mean how many mushrooms I'm selling every
I don't know. How many are you farming every week or month or whatever timeline you're putting to it?
about 100 pounds
That's
every week.
that's amazing. So 100 pounds should sort of, ah, that's amazing. 100 pounds a week.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. No, but I also read as soon as you started this, you went on to there was an organization called, if I'm not wrong, I'm just looking it up, Students Rebuild. You worked with them, and could you tell us
Yes.
about that?
So the Scenery Build Hunger Challenge was actually created by the Bezos Foundation, who runs Amazon. So they actually people would create recipes, create or draw recipes, and then they send them to us. Then the Bezos Foundation would deliver, well, donate $6 for every recipe that was sent in, and they would donate that money to an organization that was helping to end hunger.
That's pretty good. And did you go at this yourself, or you had other people support you in this venture of yours with Students Rebuild?
Yeah, I had a lot of people that were also supporting me. Other people were doing it as well, and having other people send in recipes to them. So they're a big circle around of communities around this.
That's amazing. So you are just 13 years old, and you started farming when you were 7, and now you are, you're producing about 100 pounds of mushrooms a week.
Yeah.
That's quite a story. That's come a long way. And I'm gonna think this. You're doing this at an entrepreneurial level right now, which means uh, this is this sort of a business that is self-sustainable at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of sustainable. Yeah.
What do you call your business now?
My business is still called Tiger Mushroom Farms.
Tiger Mushrooms Farms. As-
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the name Tiger Mushroom Farms?
I was a Tiger Scout when I started my business, and that was the level where I like got the idea from. So
Wonderful. So the backstory is because you started off with the Scouts and then Tiger Mushroom Farms. If not
yeah.
Tiger Mushroom Farms, what else name would you have given it?
Yeah, Te'Lario, probably Te'Lario's mushroom farm.
You would have called it Hilary's Mushroom Farms.
Yeah, Te'Lario's.
Te'Lario. Oh, I'm so sorry. I heard it. No, I heard it as something else. Yeah. No, I told you there's a problem with the audio. All right. So Te'Lario Mushroom Farms, that would have also been good. Or we should have just gone with T2 now, like the Terminator, Te'Lario Tiger Mushroom Farms, or Tiger Te'Lario. No, but whatever it is, I'm so happy to see that it's all working out well for you. Now, how are people reacting to this around you? I mean, that a young kid like you is cultivating mushroom and who's an active farmer, who's more of a foodpreneur right now. How are people reacting to all of this? At school, out there in your local community. How is it all working out for you?
So some people, it's kind of hard to believe that a young kid has started a business, but like as soon as they see me, they're like interested, and then they start supporting me in my endeavors. So the community usually just supports me. The community I talk to.
Beautiful. And at school, how does it work out for you?
Some people do know about my business at school, but they are interested that someone from their school has started a business. So they kind of support me in that way.
It's very interesting because a lot of kids would go down the tech road,
Yeah.
and it's seldom do you find a lot of people come down to the sort of agricultural route. And it is nice, and it's also heartwarming to see somebody in America like you is not taking tech and moving into farming at this young age. So it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So where are you headed with all of this, Te'Lario, with the tiger mushroom? Do you have a plan for it? What do you intend to do with this?
Um, I have a mushroom seasoning, and I'm intending to put it in stores and create a seasoning line. Um, I also want to have a warehouse so I can grow different and more types of mushrooms, and I can also expand my business to a more estate kind of way.
I'm glad you said that. So you're looking at seasoning and different types of mushrooms. And so what are the types of mushrooms you grow right now?
Right now, I only grow two types of mushrooms, shiitake and oyster. I grow gray oyster and I grow yellow oyster mushrooms.
So shiitake is normally those, though, the small ones, if I'm not wrong. Forgive my knowledge.
Uh,
It's
they're
the
kind
button.
they're usually big. The caps are usually this size.
Oh, okay. And the oyster ones are smaller, is it? Do you have the mushrooms around you by any chance? That'll be something.
I can get the mushrooms. Well, my parents can get the mushrooms, but I
Yeah.
have the mushrooms here right now.
So your parents are around, so hi to them. Right. So you have the shiitake and the oyster, and then you said the gray oyster and the yellow oyster. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
yeah. These are my shiitake.
Oh, okay. See, my ignorance. We learned something today.
So, but I don't have any oyster mushrooms right now.
Oh, that's okay. I think most of them know what the oyster is. Shiitake is a little too fancy for a lot of people to know. So those are the big ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. So, what sort of people buy? Do people buy directly from tiger mushrooms, or you sell it out to somebody
Usually
else?
go to farmers markets, and restaurants and grocery stores. So they usually buy straight from me for my fresh products. But for my dry products, like my seasoning and my dry shiitake, they can order it online from tigermushroomfarms.com.
So if any of you out there, I know this is more America specific at this point, but tigermushrooms.com, is that right?
Tiger Farms. Tiger Mushroom Farms, sorry.
Okay, sorry. So tigermushroomfarms.com.
Yes.
Is it a .com? Okay, good. So that's amazing. So it's really interesting because over the last 2.5, 3 months, I've been having a chat with a lot of prodigies, and everybody's interesting in their own way. But for the first time, I'm sitting with somebody like you. So I'm just going to dive a little further into your life as an urban farmer, and see. So right now, what's the sort of real estate you're using for something like this? Are you growing it at a warehouse, a home? How are you doing this?
I'm growing my shiitake from my basement and my oysters from my spare bedroom. So
Okay,
they're coming from home.
lovely. And then that you're producing 100 pounds.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I read in one of your articles where you said, I can see your pictures and you're using a little bit of sawdust and all that to grow them. Am I
Yeah.
right?
My shiitake blocks are made from sawdust, sweet gum, and oak, actually. So
Very good. Very good. It's amazing. If somebody out there was to get inspired by you and say, listen, I'm gonna go and grow some mushrooms, what would you tell them?
um well, you want to find an environment that can suit the mushrooms. For shiitake, they grow best in cold environments. So that's why I use my basement because it's the coldest that my house can get. And the my upstairs in my spare bedroom, it's hot in there, so that's why I grow my oyster because they thrive best in hot temperatures. But not only
Mhm.
the temperature, you want to get make sure that you get the humidity. You want a really high humidity for these mushrooms, all the mushrooms. They want really high humidity so that they can grow and don't dry out.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that. So anybody out there who's looking for a tip, who's got a little bit of time and knows, got to get all the knowledge, I think you should look up Tiger Mushrooms Farms and then try and pick it up further from there. Now, so Te'Lario, you were recognized as one of the prodigies amongst the 100 prodigies for Global Child Prodigy 2020. How was the whole thing? I mean, when you received the call, uh, what did you feel like?
I was honored that I was seen as a prodigy. Um, it was really exciting, and I was kind of taken back by it. I didn't know that I would be seen as something as such as a big prodigy among 100 of amazing kids. So it was extremely exciting.
And did you ever come down to India? Did you have the opportunity to come down to India for the award?
Actually, I never got to it. I didn't get to attend it. I
Okay, so I'm sure still. I mean, the award stands as it is, so it's wonderful. But being recognized as one of the 100 prodigies, how did your community react around you for this?
My community reacted very nicely. Like I said, they usually support me in all of my endeavors. So they all supported me from this. So
Oh, wonderful. And this pandemic, I think most of you must have been homebound. Are you able to? So your mushrooms would have received a lot more care than the usual times because you should have been homebound.
yes. Yeah, I get to tend to my mushrooms a lot better because I usually at home now. So
So you have your school going on at this point. Are you attending school online or you attending physical school?
I'm attending online school right now.
Okay, okay, all right. So did you come up with anything new during the pandemic?
Yeah, I came up with a little more seasoning for my mushroom
Mm-hmm.
seasoning. I'm also starting a community garden in a food desert.
Oh, beautiful. And I see one of your ambition is to sort of, make this a no hunger world. I read from one of the
Yeah,
articles. So
yeah.
where does that come from?
So uh, at one of my farmers markets, actually, um, some people were using special currency, and it wasn't. It was away from normal money. So I asked my father, why were they using that currency? And he told me that some people don't have enough money to buy fresh produce. So the market would give them special currency that they could buy fresh produce with. So that kind of got me thinking that I wanted to help with everything because some people couldn't go to farmers markets or didn't have a place where they could get healthy food from, and they lived in food deserts where they like couldn't get something healthy to eat for them to like survive.
Could you explain a little more about the food desserts? How does that work?
So, well, definition of a food desert is basically a place that has no grocery store, or
Okay.
it doesn't have a place where you can get fresh, affordable food. It usually is filled with shops like convenience stores um, and fast food restaurants as well. It usually, and if it does have like a store, it's not for fresh produce.
Okay. So all right. So those are the areas you're looking to target as well, and try and make sure that you have fresh produce going in. Am I right in understanding that?
Yeah, you're right.
Wonderful. So I did, when I was reading up about you just before we could have this conversation, um, I see that you have, a few mentors supporting you in this process. You're working with some of them. And can you tell us a little about your mentors, or if you have any role model, or some sort of a specialized support coming in from somebody? Can you tell us a little about that?
So I do have a couple mentors that help me with entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Um, some of my mentors, Nick and Alex, they actually come from Back to the Roots, which is where I bought my mushroom kit from.
Hmm.
So they made me their junior brand ambassador for
Wonderful.
Back to the. So they helped me with some of my entrepreneurship, and they helped me with some of my well, they used to help me with some of my money managing, and
Wonderful.
then and my sales. And then one of my other mentors is called Les Brown. He's a motivational
Mhm.
speaker, and he gives me motivation, and he also helps with my speaking.
Great. And you're in constant touch with them?
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Great, great, great. No, I'm just seeing a whole sort of pattern here, and you're looking out for support when you need it, for the business side. And is there anybody that you look up to for the farming support? You talk to anybody in terms of, okay, this is not going well for me. My mushrooms are not doing well. Do you talk to somebody?
Um, for my mushroom aspect, I don't really have a mentor that focuses on mushrooms importantly. So I usually just if something's not going well, I usually just try to improve or improvise as much as I can. My father also helps me with some my mushroom managing. So I'm not doing it by myself. I'm not harvesting my and cultivating my mushrooms by myself. My father also with it.
Oh no, no. Kudos to him. Kudos to the family. No, but it was lovely to get to know your entire journey so far, Te'Lario, and to see that you have a business that's working for you. You've got something that's actually a necessity, and we cannot live without food. So to see that you're doing it and you're trying to get it across to places that people don't have enough of this, and you've got an ambition to go into the no hunger, sort of, eradicate hunger. I'm super excited as to what you're doing, and I'm sincerely looking forward to your journey. And you are a wonderful prodigy, and I wish you all the very best. And we would continue to monitor your journey and see if our paths cross again. We'd love to reach out to you and see, hey, whiz, is there a Te'Lario farm also that's come out now? And apart from the tiger mushrooms, of course, we'd love to see what you're doing. Is there anything you want to tell all the young kids who are listening to you right now, Te'Lario?
Um, so in my community garden, I have a nonprofit that I started, which is called the Garden Club Project. And the goal for the Garden Club Project is to end childhood hunger and to encourage kids to eat healthier, which is why I am starting a community garden in a food desert so that I can encourage people so that they can eat healthier in a closer environment to their neighborhood.
That's very nice of you, and it's very noble of you. Thanks a lot for doing this. Is there anything you'd like to tell parents out there who are watching the show and looking at you and saying, hey, this kid's doing well? Is there anything that you'd like to tell the parents out there?
Um, always support your kid in whatever he wants to do, he or she wants to do, and always always be a very supportive person and believe in your kid.
Thanks a lot for that. Thanks a lot for that. And thank you to your wonderful family for letting you be on the show with us. And thanks for being up so early and talking to us. And we wish you all the very best, Hilario. All the very best. You're a wonderful prodigy. And I wish you all success in the future.
Thank you.
And to everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. We're live on Facebook, and we will be on YouTube 24 hours from now as the show gets recorded and then it's edited and put out there. We'll be back again next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, again with more prodigies as we explore their journey and explore as to how they got here and what they have from here on. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. Stay safe and see you soon.